Higginbottom from Lister Library, and I'm talking today to Emma Hagan, who's one of our reference librarians. And Emma taught a class for National Medical Librarians Month on 60 apps in 60 minutes. And it was so popular that we've asked Emma to do it again for us, although we're going to cut it back so there's time for questions. So we'll do 50 apps in 50 minutes. And in January, when we do it for UAB Community Week, the slant or the focus is going to be on international apps or apps that promote diversity that have applicability that way. So, Emma, why do you think that 60 apps class was so popular?
Well, I think that people are a little bit overwhelmed by just the sheer number of apps that are out there right now. And whether you're looking at the Android market or the Apple App Store, I don't think either of them are really intuitive, or I suppose they're intuitive, but neither of them are necessarily easy to search. You might even have a category, but then there still might be 10,000 apps within that category, and so you always feel like you're missing something, and I think that's realistic. You are probably missing something because there's about, I think, 500,000 apps in the Apple Store right now, and there's 250,000 plus in the Android market. So you're definitely missing something, and really the only way to narrow that down is to try to use the comments section and the ratings. But I think people like the idea of getting recommendation of an actual person's apps that they like, and it's somebody that you can see and not just some anonymous commenter on the App Store.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Most of the apps that I have, someone else had, so I know they're okay because someone else was using it. And so how did you choose the apps?
Well, for some of them, there were things that I used, the medical apps in particular. We try to keep up with the medical apps by reading the iMedical app blog. With other ones, they were organizations or publishers or radio stations that I was already interested in, so I chose them that way. And then there were some, like I wanted to have a group of apps about travel, but I've never actually used a mobile device when I travel. So for that, I actually tried to look at like top 10 lists from places like the New York Times travel section and travel magazines and things like that.
Cool. And so we're doing the class again in January. So how will the one that you do in January be different?
The last class we did was broad, and we had all of these different categories. We had medical apps, we had entertainment, we had shopping. So we had all these different things. And we'll probably have things from all of those categories again, but they'll all have a sort of multicultural, international slant to them. And so there probably will still be some travel apps. I'm going to definitely talk about some medical apps that can be used by clinicians if they were trying to, I don't know, practice, be culturally competent as they were working with patients. So there will be some things like translators, and then I'm also going to look at things maybe like cooking apps or radio apps for different countries, maybe some music apps and some book apps if I can find them.
That sounds fun. So that class will be held during UAB Community Week at Lister Library, and that's in the last week of January, so be sure and check the calendar. Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome.